to raise a child.
Sorry, it's so hard to hear you.
No, I know. So it. No!
Hey! This guy just assaulted me! Who decides who is a biological male and a biological female?
How does it feel to have zero pussy in your entire life?
Your argument is stupid. Your point of view is stupid. I think you're killing people. I know that you're killing people by asking what is a man and woman.
G'day you good motherfuckers, the Buttsman here, hope you're doing real well. And over the last few weeks, you may have seen this guy's face and his sandwich board. He is what seems like a pretty normal guy walking up to strangers in the streets and asking questions, but here's the problem with him. He is asking difficult questions to answer. Questions that if you even try to answer and you don't answer them the way people want you to, you're in a lot of bloody trouble, mate. What's more, and what's even worse, is he has something very dangerous on his person. And that is opinions. That's fucking terrifying in this modern age. His name is Richard Jackson, and he is the co-founder of something called Common Ground Questions, which is a social media movement. I don't know, can you call it a movement? Movements, they sound fucking shit house. He's got a page. Anyway, he purports to ask the important but controversial questions, then try to find common ground. I like that. It's good. It sounds nice. Now, big old Richo, he currently has a few long form pieces of content over on his YouTube channel that go for an hour plus, many of them. They include, should trans athletes have their own competition category? What is a man? What is a woman? Pro-life or pro-choice? What is racism? And the gender pay gap, fair or unfair. Now these videos, which I've watched almost all of them in their entirety, show Rich as a cis white piece of shit. Sorry, that's force of habit. As a pretty level-headed dude. He never really goes into these conversations trying to hurt anyone's feelings or anything like that. He's just talking, and I love that. I love the ability for people to just talk, to hash out how they feel about a topic, what they believe and what they know. We as the modern generation of human beings, we have lost that. We have lost the ability to just talk about things, and that's terrible. But I'll tell you this, some of the conversations he has had with people have been insane. The fact that these people walk the very streets that normal people walk is fucking amazing. And what's even crazier is you look at some of the comment sections, particularly on things like TikTok, people fucking hate this dude. They hate that he dares to have an opinion and dares to talk to people and question them. And when I say question, I mean simple questions like, why do you think like that? People freak out at that. It's maddening. It's maddening. Even if he is doing this just to sell his card game, which is called Controversial Cards, I think, Common Ground Conversations, Controversial Cards. You filthy capitalist, I love it. Okay, so let's have a look at some of my favorite videos that he has posted and some of the great reactions that he has had.
I have an abortion. What does that do to your life?
I'm pro first trimester abortions. If I believe that a life begins after the first trimester, well, that's where I draw the line of saying the fetus now becomes a baby with human rights, then I would have an issue with that.
All right, so here is perhaps his most infamous or famous a series of interviews during the protests after America reversed the Roe v. Wade decision that affects abortion rights in America. Thousands of people took to the streets in Melbourne here in Australia and across the globe, and he joined them with his sandwich board and microphone and decided to ask some questions and share his feelings on the subject. It is his personal opinion that you should be able to access an abortion within the 1 week after unprotected sex to the 12th week, the end of the first trimester, which I think is a pretty logical choice. I know there's a lot of people in the comment section that think there's no room for abortion, but my honest opinion is this. You shouldn't, just because you have unprotected sex, then have to raise a fucking baby. Like, come on, all right? Shit. You should have the ability to end that pregnancy, but it has to be early on. This late-term abortion bullshit, that's fucked, all right? Early on, that you need to be fucking on that shit. And honestly, if you are having unprotected sex, get on some form of contraception, all right? Don't worry about STDs and shit. You should be terrified of having a child.
Human rights would overpower her human rights?
I would say there are two sets of human rights that we have to try and balance.
I know where I draw the line, but that doesn't matter.
Where would you draw the line?
I would decide fairly early on, and I know for certain that I won't be able to support a child. Universal health rights. That costs so much money to raise
I'm
a
so
child.
sorry, it's so hard to hear you.
No, I know. So no.
And even though he agrees with them, look at the crowd here. They are screaming at him. Screaming.
No.
He's agreeing with you. What are you screaming about? Once again, abortion is a very, very tough subject. Without a doubt, all right? This is a fucking down the line, 50-50. People hate it or they're pro. The weird thing about abortion, conversation about abortion is the people who, and I think this is maddening, I hate the people who stand out the front of abortion clinics, and I hate the people who say, I've had 6 abortions, I'm powerful, I'm empowered. Just fucking sort your lives out. Jesus. And I know lots of you will disagree with me, and that's fine. We're allowed to disagree on things and still love each other. Buy my merch, you fucking bastards.
I just wanted to apologise to you guys because I thought you were way worse than you are. I started the chant earlier. You guys are not as bad as I
Oh,
thought.
thanks, man.
Okay, so the king of fucking soy starts screaming, fuck these. He incites the crowd and even has this fucking gremlin lash out and punch a microphone. He fucking agrees with you.
Anyway, they're here trying to see everyone's opinions and they're just bad.
Fuck centrist!
Fuck centrist! Anyway, fuck centrist!
So first of all, you're body shaming small penises. How dare you? I imagine if I was there screaming, hey, ladies, trim up those flaps. Jesus Christ, I can see them flapping in the wind like a giant flag. You'd be pretty mad. And then you carry on with the fuck centrists.
Fuck centrist!
Fuck people who are in the middle, who take the best from both worlds. Oh yeah, that's such an insane idea. You sound so rational. Wow, wow.
Forced vasectomy! Forced vasectomy! Forced vasectomy!
Forced vasectomy? Come on, ladies. Have a fucking breather.
How would you feel if we forced you to get a vasectomy?
Not good.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know.
What are you yelling about? How would you feel? Not good? Woo! How would you feel if I forced you to get a vasectomy? Not good. What does that even mean? You didn't win. You didn't win. You didn't win the argument. And he agrees with you. How would you feel if I cut your toenails too short? Not very good. That may hurt. Yeah. Whee! Get away from us with your evil rhetorical questions, you logical thinking monster. By the way, his evil rhetorical questions are all about when it is okay and not okay to terminate a pregnancy. The rhetorical question he asks is it okay to abort a baby the day before it's born or right up until birth? And I think this is to gauge what type of people he's talking to. And I imagine that the vast majority of people in that march for abortion rights would agree that that's not okay. But yeah, let's not ask those questions because how dare you have a nuanced opinion about it?
How does it feel to have 0 pussy in your entire life?
Yeah, I bet that dude's just slinging dick 24/7, isn't he? The ladies cannot keep their hands off this guy. That's why they're so pro-abortion, because they keep getting pregnant from him. He's too fucking hot. His sperms are swimming like fucking Ian Thorpe. He doesn't even have to finish in you. He's just got to finish in the same postcode, and you're fucking preggers, babe.
Do you know where the clit is? The answer is no, you don't.
I like female humour. It's really fun. I really don't get why people are mad at him. He is on your side.
Let's say someone disagrees with you. What's the best way to try and convince them of your position?
Why have you listened?
Sorry, there's just a lot of people.
Do you know
I hope so.
You've never fucking found it in your life, have you?
Also, the whole clitoris thing, can I just say this? Ladies, if the clit, I'm going to come up to the camera. If the clit is so important to you, okay? If it is so necessary that your man finds where the clitoris is, remember this, we don't have one, okay? We don't know how to do it. So if the importance in your relationship is all based on finding the clit, show us! Show us where it is! Why do you go, oh, you can't find it, you'll never find it, where is it? Just fucking point to it. Okay, let's leave the abortion rally for now and talk about gender.
I think biological females should be able to get naked and get changed without having a biological male there.
Female change rooms and female toilets have been invented in the last 200 years. I think you're making a whole big fuss over nothing.
Because gendered bathrooms were invented in the last 200 years? That's a moot point, dickhead. I also imagine 200 years ago, women were pretty much locked in the fucking house. So things have changed. They therefore require a bathroom. They're allowed to be out and about. Public bathrooms are necessary for these ladies. They didn't have to pinch their logs until they got home. They got to dump about. Now, of course, here we're talking about what bathrooms transgender people should be able to use. Now, what do I think? Should they use the bathroom as to the gender that they were born? I guess it's case by case. If you look like a man, you sound like a man, use the men's toilets, right? If you look exactly like a lady, if you got, you're not just a dude walking in there, go and use the ladies' toilets. Pretty simple, right? I just think that I've seen enough old men in change rooms and their dicks flopping about that I just know that ladies don't need to see that in their change rooms or their bathrooms. That's just my opinion.
Hey! This guy just assaulted me! Who decides who is a biological male and a biological female? Your argument is stupid. Your point of view is stupid. I think you're killing people. I know that you're killing people by asking what is a man and a woman.
That assault at the start, can we replay that?
Hey! This guy just assaulted me!
That is fucking amazing. What he's saying is if you're asking what a man and what a woman is, that's killing people. I tell you what, if questions like that are killing people or that affects you so much, then that just tells me you are going to have the toughest life possible. We need to be more resilient than this shit. But still, this is an interesting question. We've seen so many politicians all over the globe absolutely unable to answer this very simple question. People denying science, people denying culture and the significance of the XY and the XX chromosome. So yeah, this is an important question. You basically can work out who's rational and who's fucking insane.
Some biological males do have worms and can produce children.
That's not very correct, dickhead. I tell you what, he's got some balls, old mate, to go out and ask these questions. I would like to actually invite the big dog onto the podcast. You seem like a very interesting person to talk to. Moving on, this clip.
Has modern day feminism lost its way?
I just feel kind of sad seeing what once was fight for equality become bashing people because they're guys. I go on TikTok a lot. You see really bad comments like, all men should just die, we don't need men, we can just take their semen and dip.
And let's say, for example, there was a young person who was watching this and they're falling down that rabbit hole on TikTok of male bashing.
This is a really interesting clip because here we have a young woman giving an opinion that's not the same as the norm. The norm in this area is for the woman to attack the man because if she doesn't, then she is, what's the fucking terminology? Like, pick me? It's a pick me girl. If you don't attack men when you're asked about men, you're a pick me girl. Fucking, like, it means like you want more men to give you attention and shit. That's how feminists like attack women who dare like dudes. Or at least look at these issues that are between men and women with nuance. But this is a reality. Most women do like men and they can look at things with nuance. And it is the very vocal minority that gives everyone off the opinion that all feminists are fucking crazy.
I think there's such thing as positive anti-discrimination.
Positive anti-discrimination. Okay, so it's okay to be racist sometimes.
My whole job is to employ Indigenous people. Every store around the country for
Let's say, for example, you and I applied for a job and you had on yours that you were Indigenous and I had on mine that I was non-Indigenous. If my CV were the same as yours, in a system like that, you could get a seat at the table because of your Indigenous status. I wouldn't get an interview.
I don't look at it like that.
How do you not look at it like that? That's how it is. That is exactly how it is. It's like me pointing at a red balloon going, that's not a red balloon. It is, dickhead. I just think, who gives a fuck what your ancestors are? It does not matter at all. It doesn't have any bearing on what you can do in your job or as a professional in whatever field. And it should not have a bearing on what job you get, regardless of your skin colour.
Would you see why some people who would be not Indigenous would view that as unfair racism against them?
I don't think if they were educated on the history of our country, they would.
And I'm sure most black, brown and any other colour of people agree with me wholeheartedly. Sure, people that look similar to me have done horrible things in the past, particularly to Indigenous people all over the world. But does that mean that I should miss out on a job because of what my ancestors did? No. Back to the abortion rally for a second. There was actually a lady who was very anti-abortion who was at that rally.
Do you know how many women have abortions because of rape? It's like 0.0001%.
It's actually 5% of rapes that end in pregnancy.
What about those 0.001%?
Is it the baby's fault? My mum was telling about a family friend who actually had that situation happen, and the baby was so loved and supported into the family. It wasn't the baby's fault. Why can't we turn a good thing out of a bad? Do two bads ever make a good?
I completely agree. Completely agree. You got to keep the baby if you rape, because what if it grows up to be really good? What a weird way to look at it. And even at the abortion rally, he still agreed with so many people. He was on the same page as most of the people he spoke to, but because he dared to ask rhetorical questions and look deeper into the whole range of questions that surround abortion, people were still mad at him, like this lady. After he asked, could you abort a baby a month out from being born?
What if it wasn't medical reasons? Would you support it, or would you say no?
No doctor would do that. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, and I know what you're trying to do, and I don't fucking like it. So maybe you should go and talk to someone else.
Sure, go for it.
Thanks.
Wow, she seems rational. I like what this guy's doing, okay? I think it's good. Many people don't like it, including this alleged journalist who reached out to his ex-girlfriend for dirt. I think one of the main reasons many people don't like him is the similarity to Steven Crowder. Now, Steven Crowder does the whole sit down and ask questions and dare to find, middle ground or convince someone, or they've got to convince him. The whole change my mind concept has been very, very popular, particularly in right-leaning circles or right-wing circles. And left-leaning people or left-wing people fucking hate that shit, and that's why when they see this guy, they fucking hate him automatically without even listening to him. We need to be aware that in our society that is ever changing, that it is okay to ask questions, all right? Don't let this woke shit or the far right shit or the far left shit turn into religion. That is not what we want. The more people having debates and asking questions, the better, in my opinion. And just remember this, if you disagree with anything I've said today, stick it up your ass, you absolute fucking cock pole smoker. Have a great day, be a good motherfucker, peace in the Middle East, me dick stinks, toodle au revoir, bye-bye.
Now do what you do.